So onwards to the back half of this. What am I doing with 2 amulet coins? How did I get 2 amulet coins? Oh, I mean, I guess this will be a new episode, but then your recording session. The whole recording process is just all over the place at this point. I can't even keep track of my own whims. Oh, hey, we're in Fire Town. This is just, of course I picked the area to try to level up Funland, that Funland absolutely despises at every corner and turn. Ooh, brother. I don't think I'm outspeeding a Charizard, but this probably would be more effective use of my time than trying to put it to sleep. Especially if I can't outspeed it. Oh, let's just see how far we can go. I'm getting a bit of experience out of all this. I can't even complain about hitting because I'm using Hurricane so much. Don't get too excited, folks. I was gonna say, here comes the burn. But maybe I was jumping the gun a little too soon. I just realized, every 5 floors is a different type. They're probably saving Dragon for the final 5. But that does make me wonder what the first half of Area 10 is gonna be. Maybe there will be a plot twist and all of Area 10 is gonna be Dragon. But I didn't do the math of exactly how many Pokemon types there are, if it's enough to cover the entire Mount Battle. So I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't line up perfectly. So there goes the Rapidash, and just do a chunk of Magmar. Shame that it didn't crit the one that I actually needed, but still pretty good room for Funland to just come in here and... Oh, hey! There's the Magmar crit that I was looking for. Too little too late, but I won't complain. Actually, it's probably not even too little. It's not a matter, so blah 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 blah. Alright, 6 down, 4 more to go. Forgot to even swap my Pokemon around. That's okay. If Funland gets to do anything, it's a miracle, so it's fine that I'm leading off with it. Oh hey! A second Charizard. 2 in a row. Man, if only I could get lucky enough to get this Charizard with a Rock Tomb. One. Well, that might have spoiled that plan. I'm gonna go for it anyways. Not like it can really do too much with Funland anyways. Like, yeah, I could go for sleep, but if I'm just gonna 2-shot it anyways, then why bother? Oh, and I outspeed the Charizard? Really, man? Dang. Even with an Intimidate, it goes to show just how much you can get screwed over by 4 times weakness. Really getting the mileage out of Rock Tomb. And I mean, Funland's going down either way. You just soften yourself up for me. Can't complain in the slightest. Man, and I can even go for Bulldoze and knock everyone out. Let's see. Let me see how much this Air Slash will cripple. I mean, if I'm gonna crit anyways, then dang. I mean, with all the luck going in my favor, come on, I just want to get one Bulldoze off. Man, that was lining up so perfectly. Ah. I mean, I do have Hyper Voice. Doesn't matter because I have priority attack. I have a priority attacker, but actually, I'm sorry, Neela. It's either you or Talon Swift, and I kind of need every active Pokemon I can get at this point. Or why am I pronouncing Neela? It's Nala. I'm getting Naylon mixed up with a Pokemon, with a different Pokemon. And I guess it's worth bringing up because I'm just kind of saying move for move what I've been doing in the battle anyways. You lucky little Dragonair. Point being, I started a playthrough of Pokemon White 2. I haven't been that great with it, but recently picked it back up. And early on, I caught a Mareep and named it Nayla. I was considering using it, but I think I found other things to use. Right, Spot Monitor's still going. Ah, shoot, I forgot to actually just get the Pokemon off the Spot Monitor in between parts. I could have done that and saved myself some Pokesnacks that are just going to waste. Why am I keeping on mixing up Pokecoupon and Pokesnacks? And yeah, I did kind of start it up because of Charlie Conroy's... Wow, what's with me today? That's probably the worst pronunciation of Charlie Conroy that I've ever sputtered out of my mouth in my life. This started up as kind of a play-along, but I kind of fell off of it when I got back into other games. I've been bouncing between so many different games that I'll just take whatever I can get at this point. It's basically my playtime's just up in the wind these days, just playing whatever I happen to feel like that day. Jeez, and I was just going for the flinch hacks. That almost took it out in and of itself. I just realized, man, if I could sneak my down fan out here and get like a quad weak Earth, quad weak Bulldoze, dang, I didn't even have to worry about flinch coming in clutch. That's all I gotta say. I mean, I guess I do have Drain Punch, and that at least does something. And I do have Hyper Voice, which feels a little bit of a waste because the Rock type. But I barely need any damage to take care of the Magmar anyway. Talking a bit more about my White 2 playthrough, I've got up to Driftville City, which... interesting, worth bringing up because... before I started the playthrough, I had to delete the save file to start over, and apparently right where I left off was Desert Resort, so... that was... last time I played the game, that's about where I fell off of it. So I've at least made progress. I've at least gotten further this time than the last time around. And it was kind of worth it. Oh, I can talk about the cast form. I can talk about the most annoying cast form I've had to catch my entire life. So catching up on the playthrough, I was reminded that cast form exists, and it's been so long since I've last used one, so I wanted to try to squeeze the cast form into my White Tube team. Problem is, cast form is a Rustling Grass encounter, and on top of that, I think it's like a 1% Rustling Grass encounter, and I think you can all see where this is going, where... hold on, let me see how, if Fink got a buff or anything. 30... it does have Free Protect, but in a game with double battles I might get use out of that, but I really like my move pool as is. I don't have the heart to get rid of anything else. I'll continue that story in a sec, but I want to brace myself because I believe the final battle is almost ahead. So as I was saying, I decided to finally catch a cast form. And I decided to make it a fun treadmill activity out of it. Unfortunately for me, I overestimated how long it would take to get the cast form. And long story short, I ended up being on the treadmill for over 90 minutes straight. Because I was even though I normally would walk half an hour to an hour, I mean, especially on a work day, I would never really go on my way to walking an entire hour. But screw it, I was just way too stubborn, and refused to get off the treadmill. Well, speaking of cases where feint would have been useful to have. I guess it's a good thing I went for spurring the Typhlosion, because clearly it's up to something. Well, that's just hilarious, because I found the cast form after about like an hour on that treadmill, but I ended up fainting it. So I was just so stubborn and so determined to try to get the cast form on my team that I went out of my way and just decided that I refused to get off the treadmill until I found and caught that cast form, which led to the other extra half an hour walking along there. On the bright side, well, I have adventure things set up for Pokemon Go still, so like a hatch an egg, but I clearly walked way more than enough to hatch an egg. So there's still a lot of steps I went to waste there. But it works out for me because I have a system set up where if I walk 10,000 steps in a day, I get $2. So that's hunting for that stupid cast form got me $2, which I'll admit, that whole experience might have been on a bitter note if I didn't realize that after the fact. As much as I want to use the cast form as is, it's just like cast form isn't a great Pokemon. Like it has a cool gimmick, but it doesn't really have the stats to back it up. So I don't know. My mindset is that it's not competitive. It's just a story playthrough. So I assume I could get it to work. And a lot of the fun I like to have for cast forms is the whole concept of having one Pokemon that could be like 2 to 3 types at a time, depending on the situation at hand. The whole setting up the weather thing is just a bonus on top of that. The tricky part is setting up that weather, because you gotta work. Oh, it gets me every time. But yeah, like you have to take a turn to set up the weather, and then you get to attack with Weather Ball, which suddenly I understand why Weather Ball doubles in attack in the weather, considering the game probably assumes that you take the turn to set up the weather in the first place, so it kind of balances out that way. But it's kind of not the strongest Pokemon in the world, so half the time, like, I got myself knocked out in the process of trying to set up the weather, and my team isn't as weather perfect. I have, like, a Levani, and I thought I could work with that, but it turns out that my Levani has Swarm and not Chlorophyll, which was good before I had the concept of having a weather Pokemon, but now that I have a weather Pokemon, that's kind of backfiring on me, with the hopes that I can like get a couple attacks off before she can set up the sun, assuming she doesn't just lead off of a Pokemon that sets up the sun. This is gonna be a tough fight. Anyway, look at it. Almost like half an hour just since I've recorded again. I do not want to climb all the way back up here just to record 10 minutes of video. If even that. I just gotta give it a shot. Well, here goes something. Aerial or Tara. Got a full team of fire types. And there's a drought user right then and there. Well, that's fine. We'll make Summer Speed work still somehow. Why were they even hoping that she would save a Pokemon that set up weather for the back end of the fight? Why wouldn't you want... If you have a fire team, why wouldn't you want that sun up sooner rather than later? Maybe I'll at least outspeed the Ninetales and get an attack off on it. Do we want to go for Shockwave or Hyper Voice though? Side Shock. Okay, I'm thinking this is a 2 Pokemon move. But I could be misremembering. And that's A-okay by me. Dang, Swimmers be putting in the work. Even with the whole weakening of the water moves. It's just... Oh, you're that type of Blaziken. I mean, why wouldn't you be? Definitely not outspeeding that Blaziken now. Do I want to go for Hyper Voice? No, I'm not going to take any chances. Don't want to accidentally not knock it out because I do slightly less damage or whatever. We gotta nip this problem in the bud. Not letting that thing get out of control. And all that was looking like, oh, I guess that was inevitably going to happen eventually. And you go for the non-water type. You deserve that crit, my friend. Ouchie, ouchie, oof. And here I thought, like, Swimmersby wouldn't work out as a lead if the sun was up. Good old Swimmersby proving everyone wrong. It's gonna be hard to find a good moment to get funneling out here anyways. And if I get a Spore before going down, then... sure, that'll probably be a huge benefit in of itself. Let's see. Yeah, that Intimidate's probably gonna hurt. I think I'll still go for Waterfall anyways. And see if I outspeed the Arcane 9. Perfect. Don't mind me, I'm just waiting to see what happens. Dang! Flareon, my friend! I am so sorry. You deserve to at least take out Funlin. But luck is never on your side. The world is never on Flareon's side. So sorry, my friend. Wait, if that camera was her last Pokemon. Did she not have a full team? No, she must have. It's just not showing. It's just a weird formation thing. Cause yeah, like, I'm gonna one-shot that camera with a waterfall. Is it just my imagination? No, like the last area fight was a bit of a pain. But I'm just blown away by the fact of how this fight is going so much easier than the area 25 or is it 35 fight? Either way, the fact that this is going so much more smoothly than the halfway point, color me impressed. Let's just go for the solid damage. Like, there's no way Waterfall's not gonna knock it out. Especially now. But better, why not just go for the move that is guaranteed not to miss? And get a little bit of damage rather than one that might have done a little bit more. So, Swimmersby is still over leveled, but that did quite the number for the rest of our team. Could have done even more if I kept the experience here off my routine the whole time. Now for the good part though. Let's see. Well, first let's see what we get as a reward. And it's not going to be in this video. This video's gone long enough as it is. But before I end off playing for the day, I'm definitely going to check out the Pokecoupons if I still can. Oh wait, all that? Just for full restores? Man, you're giving me like ability capsules and all crazy stuff for just the second area. I mean, full restores are good though. I shouldn't be complaining, but sure, by endgame, that would have been a completely pointless reward if I could just buy them. Anyways, that'll definitely do it for this Mount Battle grinding session. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll have to decide in the future if we're going to continue Mount Battle or progress on the story. I'm kind of looking at my team and I could think like maybe I could get a little more experience. Maybe I'd be strong enough to get through one more area. But that's not a decision I'm going to be making today. Until then though, take care.